Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on here to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect and how it affects them and the price of milk. Thank you.
No, I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Good evening and welcome to my exciting channel where it's got some Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining in. Welcome all Mandela effectians. So let's see, let's do a few shout outs here to begin with. Good to see everyone. How's everybody doing out there? All right, let's see. We got Super Mario Brothers 3. You seem to be first here a lot. Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. We got Sandy's here, of course, with me.
Yes, I
Tode,
am.
Jeno, Arthur, Jency's here.
Jency's here. Yay. Hi,
Awesome. Good to
Jency.
see
Hi,
you.
Super Mario. Who
Hi,
else did
Super
I
Mario.
miss?
Push a button 62.
Who pushing?
Yep. Sorry for the late start, you guys. We had a fair going on, like one of those, like a carnival kind of fair. And it was exciting to take my daughter there as we had a really great time. It was perfect. So again, thanks for joining us. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Oh, we got Bit of Venom. Bit of Venom just joined.
Hi, Bit of Venom. I am in your chat, and then I'm heading to mine. And guys,
right.
we do have new ones
See.
tonight. We have a couple new ones tonight. There's one tonight. It's going to be one of those ones, Brian, where you're
Uh-huh.
either not affected, but if you are affected, it's going to be like your world's turned upside down. Okay? Just
Oh
a warning.
wow.
It's one of those ones
Okay.
where you'll see. It's going to be a very divisive one, I think. I think they're going to people that have the current memory, and that's okay. But then for those of us who have the old memory, it's going to be like, there's no way. One of them. And that's a brand new one tonight.
I like what Jency says here. If you're affected, you're affected. If you're not, then you're not. That's perfect. Yeah, I started that one. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, the truth is out there. Yes. That's why they called it the X-Files, right? The truth is out there.
I'm saying hi to everyone in my chat now.
I love it, Super Mario Brothers. This is the After Dark edition of the Mandela effects.
Because this is my show on Brian's channel, even though it's on my channel too, Jency. And then my show's tomorrow night.
Yeah, don't
Brian
forget to
is
join.
hosting. Huh.
Yes, don't forget to join Sandy's live event tomorrow. What time is it? You're having it, Sandy?
Mandela Effects After Dark. It's probably I'm aiming for like 10:30, 11 o'clock Eastern tomorrow.
Yeah. Can everybody see that? I think
Yep.
our faces were in the way. Oh, there we go. All right.
So don't forget the credit.
Yes. Credit goes to Jeff Zanzibar and Super Mario Brothers 3. Years ago, Sandy covered a Mandela effect in Laverne and Shirley. Laverne's monogrammed L was much bigger than she remembers. It was actually all different sizes in this reality, ranging from the size that Sandy remembers to some comically large.
And I do want to say, when it comes up on the screen, one of them I believe was made comically large for a skit, but I still don't remember it. So when it comes up, I'll point it out.
Okay.
That one, bottom left.
Oh, yeah, the bottom left, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think they made it comically large, but it's still, I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, was the L there? The L wasn't there, was it? I never really watched the show, so I can't really
Oh, I
say for
watched it.
sure.
The L was there, but it wasn't that big.
Okay. I mean, it's huge. So Laverne and Shirley. Now, Jeff and Super Mario Bros. 3 have a question to ask about the series. Ironically, they both brought this to me at the same time. How many seasons of Laverne and Shirley do you remember?
Now, I couldn't answer this. I guessed. I was wrong. But my guess was much less than what it is. Like, I never knew it was this long. You know?
Hmm.
What do you say, Brian?
I don't know. I don't know the show, so I'd have
Oh,
to.
that's right. You just said that.
I'll guess.
Also,
Yeah.
we don't remember the L in Laverne going into the ampersand. You see it there?
Yeah, I see that. Anybody?
You can just throw out a number. It
Uh,
can be a complete guess, guys.
okay, Jency says like the Jetsons only have one season, even if it seemed bigger. Was there only one season?
No, it's not one season.
How many seasons are there?
We're going to find out. You can go on.
All right, let's go to the next one. So, since I couldn't answer that question, I'm going to ask a different question before
Uh-huh.
revealing the answer. Yes or no? Do you recall a season without Shirley? She was in 2 episodes only? What?
Yes. So, yes or no in the chat. Do you recall a season of Laverne and Shirley where Shirley only appeared in 2 episodes? The very first 2 episodes. And then she bid her adieu.
Was it the final season?
It was the final season.
The final countdown.
That is rude. Do you see that? Can you put that up on screen from Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, what is it?
Cindy Williams quit the show because producers wanted her to work past her due date.
What?
That is rude. Oh my goodness.
Man, that's insane.
So Pushin says no and Jency says no. And I can't see your chat, Brian, so you're gonna have to look to see.
Yeah,
I gotta
I only see 2 no's and actually 3 no's. Pushing button 62, Jency and Sandra Hunter Thinner says no. I hope I got that name right. Sorry.
I can't see Sandra, which
Uh,
means she's in your chat. Welcome, Sandra.
welcome, Sandra. Good to see you.
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay. Oh wait, I think I
No, you
skipped one.
didn't read it.
It's
That's
very
what I was
okay.
saying. Go ahead.
Sorry, it's very possible we just never saw these episodes, but Super Mario Brothers 3 and Jeff have no memory of this season existing. Jeff remembers Laverne and Shirley ending after 7 seasons, but there are 8 seasons in this reality. Are you guys shocked by that? 8 seasons? In this strange season, Shirley gets married and permanently leaves the show on the second episode. Laverne is the only character to appear in every episode, and the entire season takes place in Hollywood, California, instead of Milwaukee.
And so what it is the supporting cast, they were there, but they weren't all there at the same time. Only Laverne was there for every episode. She even went to jail. There was a being in jail arc that I don't remember. Pushing buttons, you wouldn't see Sandra because she's in Brian's live chat and you're in my live chat. Only Brian can see both because he's presenting the show.
Yes, well, except the final episode, which is weird. You'd think that the final episode would tie up everything. The previous seasons have Shirley return, but instead they make it about a send-off for Carmine going to New York, a spin-off that never happened, and make it on Broadway. To make it
You
on
would
Broadway.
think that the last episode would be.
Whoa.
It's
Hold
okay.
on.
You would think
most
that the last. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you would think that the last was?
I would think that the last episode would be like a final send off with everybody. All the cast would be there, including Shirley. But instead, it was a send off for Carmine, instead of. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even about Laverne.
Right.
This is so weird. That's all. Go on.
Okay. And so the most obvious difference in this season is the intro. Now it's sung by a group of children in California, with Laverne being in the middle of them. If you do not recognize this, then I would say that this is safe bet you never saw season 8.
And why would they be singing that? It had to do with the bottling plant in Milwaukee. Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. You know how it is, though. I think the it is possible. Okay, just not saying this is not an ME, but it is possible that the TV broadcasting channel only was showing the more popular episodes. Maybe they skipped some. You know how they skip around. They don't always go in
A
order.
whole season?
I don't know. It just seems odd. Like,
That seems odd. Anyway, go on.
Very.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, wait, stop. Don't go on. Right now, look at the screen. Look at Laverne's shirt. That is the size L I remember. Right there. See it? The L on her shirt?
Yeah.
That nice little L, like a monogram? That's what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Not that gigantic L. Anyway, go on.
Yep. Okay. So, are the ever-changing L's on Laverne's clothes new for you too? Is this a season of Laverne and Shirley a Mandela effect for you? Let us know in the comments what you remember. Thanks again to Jeff and Super Mario Brothers 3 for bringing this to Sandy's attention.
And on the next slide, we have residue from that last season.
Bonus residue. Many of you remember espresso instead of espresso. So did the set designers. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is it did that change? Is it espresso?
It's always been espresso with an S in this reality.
No.
Yeah. And there's residue of espresso on the wall.
No, no, no.
This is the first you're hearing of this? This is old.
No, it's been espresso. We've always said espresso.
Welcome, Hard to Believe. Yeah, Brian, that's an
No.
old, like 2015, 2014 Mandela effect.
How come I'm just now hearing about this?
I have no idea, but there's some residue for
Okay,
you.
guys, I'm in shock. Unless that's a different translation for different places,
Not,
you know, it
it's
could
not. That's why in the top right, you see the top left and right, there is no X in espresso.
be. Jeez. Wow. All right, well, I'm going to have to write that one down. That's crazy. Yeah, Sandy, make a note of that one for me, because that's a heavy hitter.
Okay. So
The LA and Lander
Yeah, go ahead.
is merged. What the crap? What is going on here? We are living in an alternate reality, apparently. Just thought the weird merged carvings on the wall were worth noting. Look at those things. Those look almost subliminal, like, you know, subliminal
Yeah, I don't
messages.
know what they
Who knows?
are, because I have not seen this season, so I don't know what they are, but they're on the walls, and I wanted to point them out.
The writing on the wall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First, the propellers turned to flags. Then I discovered that many versions, including the original illustrations for Alice in Wonderland and now Laverne and Shirley, Tweedledee and Tweedledum hats have nothing on them now.
I meant
Wait,
to
what?
include the image of wow, Squiggy and Lenny. They were dressed as Tweedledee and Tweedledum in the old intro. and I think in the
Mm-hmm.
season 8 intro too. And they're just wearing regular hats. There's nothing on top, like the current reality where there's nothing on top. So the propellers and the flags are gone now in most things, including the original Alice in Wonderland drawings, which is the top middle drawing.
Yeah, they were propellers.
They were.
I mean, the
Hey
flags look
Ryu.
weird.
Ryu is joining the
All right,
chat.
sweet. Hey, Ryu.
And hard to
So
believe you
the
missed her too.
hard to believe. Hey, hard to believe. The rib cage does not go above the collarbone.
Yes, that's actually residue, but I want you to look at the collarbone on the. All right, so that must be a Mandela effect you didn't cover yet. The rib cage now
Mm-mm.
goes above the collarbone. I do not remember that. It's obvious. It looks like the rib cage is above the collarbone. Now, if you look at the rib cage next to Laverne, it's shaped like wings now. It goes up. I don't remember that. They were straight across, like on the image on the top.
Yeah,
You
they
see
were
this?
they were straight. Yeah, they were straight across.
Mm-hmm.
The L like I remember it.
Yeah. The only thing you saw above the collarbone was the spine. You didn't see the rib cage. Now you do.
So in some shots of Laverne and Shirley, you have the small L. Is that what you're saying here?
Yes, in some shots, but in the majority of them, the L is ridiculously large.
Yeah. So what is this? I covered the Chinese theater being red, black, and gold in my past, and it looks like this in the intro, but below is how it's always been. What is this?
The Chinese
Is
theater, I
this it?
remember it all red,
Oh,
black, and gold, and now it's green, white, with just the tiniest bit of red. It is not what I remember. And I don't remember those
I
evil looking monkey fanged
what is up
things
with
on
that?
the, those are on the posts, on the red posts of the Chinese theater. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it looks kind of looks like gargoyles or something. Anyway,
No,
so Jeff remembers the current spelling of Gary, Garry. But I do not remember this. Does anyone else remember Gary Marshall with an one R? Anyone?
yeah, Gary only would have one R for me.
Okay, and that
I
completes that
I don't think
slide.
I've ever seen Gary spelled with two R's ever.
No, no, never.
Oh,
All
also
right,
go
so
back one more second to the Chinese
oh
theater.
crap.
Oh,
Oh man,
oh,
I've already closed out. I'm sorry, Sandy. What do
it's
you
all
need
right.
me
I
to
just
go
wanted to
back to
point
it?
out. It's okay. I just wanted to point out that every corner of the Chinese theater has an obelisk on top of it. I don't remember
Wow.
that either.
All right, you want to
Like
read
a
this one?
10-foot tall obelisk.
Oh, okay.
All right. So credit Siren Offspring. This is a quick one, but crazy nonetheless. Siren Offspring has brought to my attention a very minor but prominent detail that has been Mandelaed from our memory. Gen C remembers Gary with one R. Pushin is Gary with one R. Pushin says red,
Okay, you
gold,
want me
and
to go
black
on?
100%. Yes. Gen Z says the statues weren't there. WTF. It's the first time that Ryu has seen Gary with two R's. Let's see. In the series Quantum Leap, actor Scott Bakula has a unique feature that neither one of us remember. Guys, if you already saw this, just answer what you originally answered. Do you remember Dr. Sam Beckett having a unique physical feature? If you do, what is it? It has to do with his appearance. So if you do recall a unique feature to his appearance, please tell me what it was in the chat. If you don't, just say no. Brian, can you look at the chats, please? Because I can't see yours.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Um,
I have to take my medication, so I can't talk while I'm doing that.
Bakula was also on CIS. Hyro, yes, Butchin, but it's not that. Streak of gray or silver hair. Super Mario Brothers 3.
That's the issue. We can go on.
Something looks off, but I can't place it. I honestly thought he spelled his name Bacula. Bacula.
I
That's
thought
what I
it was
thought it
B-A, I
was.
thought it was back, Backula, but it's B-A-K.
No, that's weird. I'm sorry. Anyone else affected by that one? Anyone else remember? I mean, I could be wrong.
Siren
Could be wrong.
Offspring has no memory of Dr. Sam Beckett having a patch of silver hair right in the front. I have no memory of this either, do you? And I do not. It looks weird. Stands out like sore thumb. He looks older with it. I don't remember this.
Mm-hmm.
The footage got older, says Jency. Jency, would you rather us call you Gino or Arthur, or would you rather us call you Jency? I mean, I'm assuming it's still Jency because you got it in parentheses, but... Yeah, Brian. Jency. Okay, awesome. Right there
Well,
it
what
is
is up with
close
that
up.
gray hair?
That's what we're talking about. Like I said, it's a small detail, but it's prominently positioned so that anyone who watched the series should have clearly seen it many, many times. We have never seen this patch of silvery hair before, have you?
And again, what series is this? Refresh our audience.
We're going to get to that, but we're talking about Quantum Leap right now.
Okay.
There's a picture where I don't see any silver.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Where?
Right there. You don't see that?
No, it just
I
looks
mean,
like
it's
the
hard. It
hairs.
is.
Oh, one
It's
little
hard to.
part, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to tell because it's pixelated.
Yeah. All right, so I did find a couple photos and scenes where it is either not visible, not hitting the light, so not as prominent, or just is not there. But he has a silvery patch in almost every photo or scene I saw. Hey, Brian.
Okay.
It's not on my screen yet. I got delay. So here's where it gets weirder. In the Quantum Leap community, there are entire forum threads and even a Facebook page dedicated to Sam's light streak or white streak, depending on the source. The awkward light streak on Sam's hair. You don't have to read it.
Look at the weird. Hey, look at those weird A's.
Yeah, I know.
That tells you right there.
I know. The whole forum uses it.
I don't know. I don't know what's up with the weird A's.
Well, it could look like an arrow. Or if you look in an A, right, one side could be one reality and another side could be another reality merging together at the top. Scott Bakula's white streak. While some recall there being a storyline in Quantum Leap about the white streak of hair, the truth is, it's the actor, not the character, who has the patch of silver hair. He has had the light streak in his hair since he was 4 years old, which means, Brian, it's not just Quantum Leap, it's everything he's ever been in.
That's crazy. I've got something to tell you though. When we get done with all this, okay? If we make it through, I got. There's a scientist who says he has evidence that we live in a simulation.
Yep. Okay. Can you read the top part? What does that say in the circle?
It says he's had a white streak since he was 4.
Which means, unless they covered it up with temporary hair dye or hair color powder, that streak is not just seen in Quantum Leap. He has it. He has had his entire acting career until going gray all over. Do you recall this?
No, not at all.
I don't either.
This reminds me of Charlie Puth. Charlie Puth, the singer.
No.
I don't remember him having a scar. He has a scar above one of his eyes. He's had it.
I've tried to find the
scar.
reason his hair. I've tried to find the reason his hair turned white in just that section at the age of 4. The story is, on the day it turned white, his mom thought it was pain, but his hair had turned white. No more info was provided, so I looked into it. So basically, he was helping a neighbor, not helping, a neighbor was painting, and he was over there. He obviously wasn't helping at the age of 4, and she thought some paint fell on his hair, but his hair had turned white. The only reasons this could be possible are 2 disorders. I don't know if that's P-baldism or piebaldism, whichever it is. Scott Bakula could not have that because it's only present from birth. The hair is stark white, but the skin is also white. It can look similar to vitiglio, but vitiglio needs to be present at birth. Need not be present at birth. Wow. I mean, look how white the skin is in that condition. That's crazy. That leaves poliosis, which is what caused Scott Bakula's silver patch of hair. It is caused by a gene mutation and can also be genetic. Sometimes it is accompanied by health conditions, like seizures and non-cancerous growths. Now here's pictures of Scott Bakula with silver and gray hair, which I've never seen before.
I don't really see the silver patch here though. In
Where?
some of these I do, but do you see it? The silver patch?
I do. In all of them.
I don't see it in these middle ones here. Like this one here. It's
Zoom
hard to
in
notice.
on the middle left. Zoom in on the middle left. There's a big chunk of white hair that curls down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right there you can see it. Yeah.
And I think in some episodes they tried to dye it so it looks blonde, but like I don't know if you noticed his hair got lighter throughout the seasons, lighter blonde, and I think they did that to try to disguise
Try to
it.
hide it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you remember Scott Bakula always having a patch of silver hair? Let us know what you remember in the comments below, and thank you again to Siren Offspring for sharing this crazy find.
Yeah, good find.
Disclaimer. Where are we? Oh, I need to preface this presentation with an edit. Everything in this presentation is real, verified, and not of my reality, with the exception of one slide. The slide that led me to the true Mandela effect in this presentation. Mackinac Island, Michigan. The post that led me down this rabbit hole, the whole reason I found these things, was an April Fool's joke. How crazy is it that something completely fabricated for April Fool's Day led to an actual Mandela effect? So while keeping that in mind, let's get on with the questions and the reveal. And thank you to Christopher for discovering the origin of that post. Go ahead, Brian.
So credit goes to Kara Maloney. Sometimes Melanie, sorry about that. Sometimes you hear something so off the wall that it just has to be a Mandela effect. This is one of those times. Yes or no? In your past, could natural islands float?
So, keyword natural. Yes or no? Could natural islands float?
I've heard of sandbars showing up like close to the shore. Are they
Yes,
like
but
giant
those
sandbars?
they're sandbars. They're connected to the sand under the water.
I've never heard of them like moving around.
So Jency says no. I can't see your chat, Brian. What is your chat saying?
Okay, let me see. Preliminal says. Okay, let me see.
Pushin says no way.
Yeah, Gen C says float like move or float in one spot,
Like move.
like moving. Anyone remember these islands, natural islands floating? Like when you say floating, they're floating, moving away, right? Moving away
They're
from the.
floating on top of the water.
No. So preliminal says islands that float, no way. Gen C says never. Pushing button says drummers are weird, lol. No, okay, so we'll go on.
Yep.
In my past, only man-made islands, I'm using the word islands loosely, were floating like the artificial islands above.
And yes, some do look like large yachts. They're calling them islands.
But they're not actual islands.
No, they're not. They're man-made. They're buildings that float on water.
Right. Yeah, even the man-made Palm Island of Dubai, I believe it was anchored to the sea floor, but apparently I'm wrong. It is also a floating artificial island. But that is not the question I asked. I asked if you recall natural floating islands. So Karen has never heard of naturally formed islands floating on the surface of the water, and neither have I. In our past, islands were like icebergs. The island was only the tip. That's a good comparison, actually. The part above the sea and the rest of the island was anchored to the seafloor. Apparently, in this place here, and in many places, not in this reality, this version of the Earth here, we have many floating islands created by Mother Nature. Mosses, plants, and mud come together to form an island over time that floats on the surface of a body of water.
So Euros floating islands in Peru. These are naturally formed islands that float on water made of mud and grass and moss that people live on.
And wow. I would imagine it's probably not very sturdy. Why would you build your house there? I don't know.
I guess it was sturdy. I don't know. They do anchor those, but go on. Now this part,
Okay.
this is where we're at the April Fool's joke. The post that led me to all of this is an April Fool's joke. So you can skip this entire reading part. But floating island, that part is real. A floating island is a mass of floating aquatic plants, mud, blah, 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 blah. I already told you what it was. So just skip this slide.
Okay. These are elsewhere where you'll find them. You guys are welcome to look at that for a moment. I'll talk about a couple of them. Danube Delta, Romania. Lake Visitor, Montenegro. Lago di Posa Fabreno, Italy. There's one in Sweden, one in the Netherlands, Waterland, one in Scotland. So yeah, they happen to be all like pretty much all over, even South America.
I do want to say, it's not all islands. Most islands are formed by volcanic activity and are attached to the floor of the sea. So
Yes.
it's not all islands. Only these, the ones listed here. on these pages. There's more, Brian. Don't read them all. There's a ton.
I know. I'm not going to read them all, but just a couple of them. Two of them in Uganda, and in Africa, and you got several. A couple of them in Iran. There, one in Iran, two in Turkey, India, Tasmania. So it's pretty sporadic, and even in the United States.
Yep.
You know, you've got Lake Buckeye in Winter Haven, Florida. There's a place in Orlando, Lake Mary Jane. To just name a few.
There's more of them in the United States.
Are you telling me that whole island there in that picture is a floating island?
No, that's a real island.
Okay, I was about to say because
I just
that's a
needed
whole
something
rock.
there so that the spacing was right, so you could read it all.
I mean, the day that rocks actually float like that. I mean,
Well, keep reading, Brian.
Okay, I'm going to keep going. Part 2. While researching floating islands for Karen, I came across something else that was new to my reality. One more question, yes or no. Have you ever heard of pumice rafts? Pumice
Yes or no?
rafts.
Yes or no in the chat.
Gen C says no.
What about you, Brian?
WTF is that? Pumice. Pumice is a kind of rock. You know, it's obviously it's like a you know, you use it to file your nails or skin, something like that. It's pretty tough.
But I'm asking.
I've never heard of it.
Okay.
No, somebody was asking WTF is that, so.
Oh, okay. Well, pushing
Gen
button
C,
says no.
Yeah, Gen C says a pumice raft is a floating raft of pumice.
I know, Brian. We're going to get to it.
Okay. Gen C says we're going to need a bigger boat. It never existed. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, a pumice raft is a floating island of pumice stone created by volcanic eruptions. That's exactly what Gen C was saying. These floating islands can be as thick as 60 centimeters or 2 feet deep above the surface of the water and can span hundreds of miles. Thinner pumice rafts can be walked through, while thicker ones can be walked on, like walking on solid water.
I don't think you took that in. I don't think you took all that in, Brian. Hundreds of miles. These things are bigger than some other islands.
Oh. What?
They're huge.
I'm trying to see these pictures here. So it looks like water, you're saying?
Yeah, you can walk on it. You just said when rocks start floating on water, well, that's what these are doing.
Oh my goodness. No, that never existed. Pumice rafts are thick enough they can diminish the wave height too, it looks like here. This changes everything about dynamics, physics and everything. So pumice raft can be any size with a thickness of 10 to 60 centimeters deep above the surface of the water. Many are larger than the islands, like you were saying, Sandy, such as Bermuda or Maui. The largest found was bigger than the state of Maryland. What?
Uh-huh.
And approximately the same size as Switzerland.
Uh-huh.
Now, these are natural rafts?
They're created by volcanic explosions underneath the water.
I could have sworn when you said pumice rafts, I was actually thinking of like boats that were made of pumice.
Yes,
but
no,
you're telling me this is a natural
floating islands created by volcanic eruptions under the ocean.
But I thought you said that aren't they anchored? Most of them are anchored to the seafloor.
None of these are anchored. These are not anchored. These are chunks of pumice that fly out of a volcanic eruption under the sea, float to the surface, stay in a group, and move across the ocean.
Wow.
The size of Maryland. So this video, go back. You didn't read the credit. Go back. So this video is credit to all the red circles.
Okay, so his video of a sailboat navigating through a pumice raft. It's gigantic. Have you ever heard of seeing of these pumice rafts before?
Courtesy of Shannon Lenz and Tom Whitehead. This is their video as they were going through a pumice raft.
Okay.
You can mute it if you want. We don't need the sound.
Okay.
So it starts out with photos and then it goes to the video.
Okay. Looking. Wow.
As far as the eye could see, was just pumice.
What in the world?
That's the path they took.
Mm-hmm.
And when
This
they
is
got the
volcanic.
thicker pumice, you see how there's like no waves now? The waves are all
Yeah.
flat because it's so heavy it flattened them.
Wow. So you can actually walk on that, you're saying?
That is thick enough to walk on, yes.
What in the world?
It still moves though. It's just that the waves aren't as
It almost,
pronounced.
I know, it almost looks like cement, you know?
Yeah, moving cement.
Mm-hmm.
Like this
Anyway,
probably
what do you
makes
guys
someone
think about that?
seasick. All right, so here's some
You guys-
pictures of pumice rafts. Aerial view.
World.
Like I said, some are
Wow.
thin enough to walk through, and then others are so thick that you could just walk around on them. Torgenti
I've
said,
never
someone
heard of this.
slapped me or something.
I was about to say, yeah, somebody slapped me. Yeah, same here. So walking on such pumice rafts is definitely not recommended. By blocking sunlight, they impact the lake ecology. But the cordon calais rafts have also permitted novel studies on how microbial life may have exploited them on early Earth.
Yeah, because apparently these can also happen in lakes. I added a few images to this presentation. So
Yeah, but how do they happen on lakes? Because there's no volcano nearby, is there?
I don't know about all lakes. Some lakes may have it underneath. I don't know. That's a lake, actually. So there you go. The diving platform, the dock.
How are you supposed to go fishing in that? You can't.
You can't. You have to wait till it's gone and washes up on shore.
Wow. So there's a pumice raft that actually transports life across the ocean.
This is the part I'm adding to. So like clams and coral will attach themselves to the pumice and move around the ocean.
What planet is it again, Sandy?
I know. It's all new. Like, look at this. It's crazy looking.
Wow. What are these things here? It kind of looks like skeletons on that floor here. I don't know what is up with this.
That's the
These,
pumice raft. That's the pumice raft moving in between the sand on the beach. It's coming up on shore.
Oh, I see. I see. I mean, I guess the volcanic ash has to go somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the lava. I guess the floor is lava in this case.
Mm-hmm.
The kids' song, "The Floor is Lava." Anyway, is any of this a Mandela effect for you? A new Earth feature, or have you always had floating islands or pumice rafts in your past? Let us know your memories in the comments below. Thank you again for Sadly Karen and sharing her
Sadly
find.
Karen for sharing her find. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, next one.
Next one.
All right, Sandy, your turn. You're up.
We do have new ones at the end, guys. Just hang in there if you've already
Yes.
seen all these.
Yeah, thank you guys for being so patient.
All right. This is an updated presentation that is blowing my mind. If you saw this before, it will be different. There were two phrases used in March of 2020, one by Fauci and one by Trump, that we're talking about today. Please fill in the blanks of what you remember being said. Fauci said something about curves. Well, curve. What did he say? I'm just going to answer that one first.
You're telling me the quote changed?
What is the famous quote that Fauci said? We're just answering the Fauci part first. What did he say? What's the famous quote about curve? So pushing button says flatten the curve, says bit of venom. Can you see any other answers, Brian?
Bit of
Jency
venom
agrees.
says flatten the curve. I don't see any. Okay, I see that one there. Ryu.
Now, Jency did the up arrow pointing to pushing, saying basically Jency agrees. Flatten them.
Right. That's funny. Sandy.
I see.
Some of these comments in the chat, I can't read them out loud, obviously.
I know.
Okay, so what is the? Should I go to the next one?
Yeah.
That's okay, guys. So am I? Or are you reading?
Wait. Actually, go back.
Oh, did we miss something?
Yeah, we did. The second question.
Oh.
So the second question is Trump said the same thing about curve, but also had an initiative. 15 days to blank the spread. What word do you remember? It's a 4-letter word that begins with an S. What word do you remember him saying? 15 days to blank the spread. Now, this part, when I presented this, Brian, shocked me because a lot of the people had the current memory. I was shocked. What do you remember, Brian?
I was thinking stop, just to be honest with you.
Okay, that's fine. What does the chat say? Come on, everyone. 15 days to blank the spread. It's a 4-letter word that begins with an S.
Oh, I think we know what the 4-letter word that begins with a S is, Sandy. I think Jency pointed that out already.
Pushing button says stop, I guess.
Oh man, this show is great. Sandy, you're cracking me up with this, especially with the 4-letter S word. Okay.
I know.
Okay. In my past, go ahead. You read it, Sandy.
Okay. Well, it's not on my screen yet, but I will. In my past, Fauci was the first to say 15 days to flatten the curve. And Trump repeated it. The news then repeated it, as well as commentators on YouTube. I cannot find Trump or Fauci ever saying 15 days to flatten the curve. I remember it being said in the next speech, but that is not what Fauci says. So, video, next slide.
There are a number of things that one can do in order to blunt it. If you look at the curves of outbreaks, they go big peaks and they come down. What we need to do is flatten that down. That would have less people infected. That would ultimately have less death. There are a number of things that one...
All right, you can stop it. So flatten that down is what he says, not flatten the curve. I recall what we need is 15 days to flatten the curve. Instead, he says what we need is to flatten that down. This is the only speech from that time period that mentions the curve that I could find. Do you remember this? Because I do not.
No.
Right, Bit of Venom? Bit of Venom says that was the mantra. Flatten the curve. Right. As for Trump, in my past, it was 15 days. Pause the video, Brian. Pause the video.
Okay.
We need sound for this too. Oh wait, that's not the video that we need sound for, I don't think.
No,
You're
it's
okay.
not.
All right, as for Trump, in my past, it was 15 days to stop the spread. But now his initiative and what he says is slow the spread. 100% no. We did not want to slow the spread of that. We wanted to completely stop it. We wanted to stop it dead in its tracks and eradicate it. We did not want to slow it down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a
Well,
video coming up.
okay. That's a big one.
With their old slogan, 15 days to slow the spread. Remember that one? With their old slogan,
No, I don't.
15 days to slow the spread.
I
Remember that
only
one?
pause
With
it.
their old-
I only ever remember hearing 15 days to stop the spread. We were trying to make it disappear, die out, but it's always been slow now, as Jesse Waters asks us if we remember. No, Jesse, I do not remember that. But I do remember what's said on the next video.
We've really worked on messaging to the American people about these 15 days to stop the spread. We've
Ashley
really
holds
worked
up
on
Wow.
messaging to the American people about these
It's-
15 days to stop the spread.
Wow, that is
Really
amazing
worked on
residue,
messaging
Sandy.
to-
That's only one of them. But the clip he shows next is the best residue one could ask for. Dr. Burke saying, stop the spread, with all materials around her and in her hand saying, slow the spread. Is this what you remember? The next slide, I have to remember to change because it says Attorney General, but it's not.
Well, what you're talking about is our 15 days to stop the spread initiative. We're
Wow.
So funny. They're all getting it
What?
wrong.
Again? Yeah. How are they all
Also-
getting it wrong?
Yep, all this residue. Also, this residue from the Attorney Surgeon of the USA in March of 2020. Stop the spread initiative, he says. Hold up, slow the spread initiative. Play it one more time, because he even says initiative.
Holy cow.
Play it. Brian, yeah.
well, what you're talking about is our 15 days to stop the spread initiative. We're well, what you're talking
he's
about is
even
our 15
including the
days to stop
initiative.
the spread initiative. We're well, what you're talking about
You
is
can
our
stop.
15 days to stop the spread initiative. We're
Okay.
well, what you're
Sorry.
Okay.
What was the other big one you were telling me about? The floating islands is a big one.
Oh, the top four. The four at the top.
Okay. All right, but what was the other one? What was the one I told you to notate, Sandy?
That you don't remember espresso. I mean, you
Yeah,
remember
ex-
espresso. You didn't know it was an old Mandela effect.
Espresso.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I think the it's really doing a number on me right now.
Mhm. And Jency says, and the news anchors should have corrected him. You are correct.
Yes.
Australia did have a stop the spread campaign, but in the US, it was always slow the spread.
No, it would stop the spread.
Yep. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I hope I'm not
Bless
alone
you.
on this. Thank you. But even if I am, I know this has changed. It took over a year before the US government started admitting that we would have to live with this. And I can't read that. There we go. And way back at the start of the thing, we all were hoping it would eventually die out. So we wanted to stop transmissions, not slow the transmission. So here is residue of 15 days to flatten the curve. Flatten the curve. If we all pitch in for 15 days, we can flatten the curve.
Not flatten that down, no.
Yeah, flatten it down. I've never heard that. It did change us, unfortunately. But it made a lot of us stronger and smarter when it came to our leaders. So here's a current reality, slow the spread. Go ahead, Brian. I think this is still current reality because it's red. Slow the spread. Yep. Now we're at the green. 15 days to stop the spread 1 year later. I love those anniversary. Go ahead. Can you read that? I can't see it. It's not on my screen. It's too small. Oh, wait, there we
Just
go.
saying, sorry.
Trump declares, like I said, I remember Trump saying it, 15 days to stop the spread. And then right below it said 15 days to slow the spread. So dumb.
So weird.
It is. The president's decision to extend the 15 days to stop the spread, and underneath 15 days to stop the spread is just enlarged, because this is my old residue with my old magnifying glass that no longer exists in Apple. I will cry about that until they bring it back.
Yeah, I think it had to do with election interference, but that's just me.
Don't say that. I don't want this
What?
taken down. Hey, Alone, welcome. More stop the spread. 15 days to stop the spread on WHYY PBS. Dad. You want to get through these quickly, don't you?
I do, yeah.
This is New Jersey 101.5. Welcome to 2021 and day 295 of 15 days to stop the spread. Underneath it says stop, and then below says slow.
Yeah.
So dumb.
What in the world?
There's a lot of residue to flatten the curve. 15 days to flatten the curve. 15 days to flatten the curve, over and over and over again. I like the top one. The hardest part of 15 days to flatten the curve is always the first 18 months. Here's t-shirts and other stuff. Flatten the curve. I agree, Bit of Venom. Slow doesn't make sense. They wanted to stop it. Yes. Here it says President Trump's fateful news conference that gaslighted lockdowns to be enacted by the states for 15 days to flatten the curve in quotations. Same t-shirt, different color. I'm waiting for the screen. Do you guys remember the quotes like me, or was the curve created by the news in your past? Did we want to stop the spread in your past or just slow it down? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
All right. All right. Next one. So, all right. So I guess I'm up, Sandy. Do you
Yep.
remember Beetle Bailey, the comic strip about life in the Army? I hope so, because there are some weird things happening with this comic. So question number 1, which color or colors do you remember Beetle Bailey wearing?
And if it's easier, you can just say, I definitely not this color. So if
I would say definitely not 2. I feel like it was 3. I'm going to go with 3.
Pushing Buttons says 2, 3, 4. They remember 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't remember 1. That's what I'm saying. At all.
Oh, you remember 2 or 3, but you don't remember number 1.
No, no. 2
Which
or 3
one?
on this one. I'm going with 3.
My goodness. Okay, Ryu picked 4 last time, so they're picking 4 again. Brian, so you're saying that which one is it definitely not for you?
The one that's definitely not for me is number 1.
That's what I
I
wanted to
could,
clear up.
I feel like I'm leaning more toward 3.
Okay, do you see any other answers besides pushing button and Ryan in the chat? Because if you do, that's from your chat and I can't see it.
I don't see any from my chat. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, then we can move on to the next question if you want. Bit of
Push a
Venom
button
says.
says.
Okay, go ahead.
Push a button says I think I picked 2 and 4 last time.
And now they're adding in 3.
Yeah, Bit of Venom says last time I said 2 and 4 and definitely not 1 and 3.
And Ryu says not 1 and 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Goddess 4 Wins says wasn't it 1?
Bit of Venom says 1 and 3 looks so wrong.
Okay, so we didn't actually answer that one yet.
No, we're going to go on to question 2.
All right, hold tight, guys. Which color or colors do you remember on Sarge? Oh, gosh, I'm not going to remember this one, Sandy.
All right, then which one looks wrong to you?
Probably D, if I had to say.
Okay, guys. To make life easier on you, which one looks wrong to you?
I think D for me, Sandy.
Okay.
I feel like it was C.
Well,
but I'm not
in
sure
the chat,
100% on this.
Jency says D looks wrong. It should be A or B. Pushing Button says C and D look wrong. I can't see your chat. I don't know if there's anyone there answering.
Goddess 4 Wins says A? Question mark. Push a button 62 says C and D. Yeah, D looks wrong, really. Preliminal says 4. Are we golfing here?
He's on the previous question. He's on the previous
question. Okay. Okay, here's the thing. I can see any green color or tan on either of them. In fact, you can find all these greens and tans on them, so this is definitely a variation effect. But the issue is the gray Beetle Bailey and yellow, orange, and even red Sarge Otto. I've never seen these characters wear these colors before. What do you guys think?
The red one is a one-off. It's the only one I found red, so I included it, but it's just one time. It could be someone's creative license, that sort of thing. But the other ones are not. So everyone said they don't remember Beetle Bailey in gray, yet there's the gray, and D is yellow and orange, and there's yellow and orange. So
these colors are actually the most common used across the comics, newspaper, comics, and books. So I have to think Mandela, when the most common colors are colors I've never seen before. Do you remember them wearing these colors?
So again, these are the most common colors that they use.
Wow. I don't know about this one. This one's weird.
This one's weird. Like even the logo for Beetle Bailey in the bottom right, like the logo you see in the in the newspapers.
Yeah, what's up with the E's?
Yeah, they're all crooked. Look at the Y.
No, the E's are pointed upward.
I know. They're all crooked. That's what I said. But look, he's also gray in the logo.
So I should also mention here, we just talked about that, the crooked E's. Yep. The Y is not how I remember it looking. You remember the logo like this, guys? There's an all caps version, but I remember the lowercase logo. I love your font here, Sandy. It's good font. Whatever that font is.
Okay, I can switch to it. That's the Wonder Woman font.
I like that one. Let's see. So more logos I came across. I do not remember any comic having so many different logos. Do you? Look at all these variations.
It is weird. Like, I don't remember. It's just weird. It's a brand. I don't remember brands having so many logos. And that's all the merging that's circled.
Yep.
I mean, there's more
Even
logos. It just doesn't
it even
stop.
came in rainbow too. Rainbow colors.
Yeah, it came in rainbow colors too.
Question 4, yes or no? Do you guys recall a Beetle Bailey animated series?
So yes or no in the chat. Do you recall a Beetle Bailey animated TV series or movies? Do you recall any animated Beetle Bailey? Yes or no in the chat. Brian, do you?
I don't. Goddess Four Winds says no.
How about a Christmas
Push your
special?
button says maybe. Gen C says loving every minute of it.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Gen C. Yeah. Now this may not be a Mandela. I could have just missed it, but I have no memory of there being a TV series which can be seen free on Tubi and Amazon Prime as of April 2024. The series ran from 1962 to 1964. Is this new for you, too?
And granted, we weren't around then, but we're watching, like, you know, Looney Tunes and Rocky and Bullwinkle and the Jetsons and the Flintstones. They're all from the 60s or earlier, so why wouldn't we have seen these?
It would have been on Nickelodeon, right? Or something like that?
Or TBS or Cartoon Network or any of those.
Yeah.
USA.
Boomerang. I'm surprised it's not on Boomerang. Correction. It wasn't just one cartoon. There were 2 cartoon series. One was in 1963, the other in the late 80s or early 90s that was on Saturday mornings. And there were at least 3 animated movies direct to VHS. There was also a special that could have been one of the VHS movies. Do you remember any or all of this?
I know none of this.
I don't.
Now, Jeff remembers
Wow.
the series, but he doesn't remember any of the other stuff.
Okay.
I mean, there is so much here. You can tell the old versus the new cartoons based on the artwork style.
I might have to go back and watch this. Now that I'm glad you mentioned that.
And notice how
Maybe.
Sarge is wearing orange and yellow in the middle on the right. And a reddish brown in the top left. It's almost red.
All right. I wrote that one down so I can go check that one out.
Yes, all colors now, Jency. That's correct. You can also find it free on YouTube, Jency says. Thank you, Jency.
So what is the real color of the
It's all the colors. It's all the
soldiers?
colors.
Oh.
It's all the colors, Brian, depending on what you're watching.
Wow, that is crazy. It's like, why are you gonna change colors like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just showing you that the colors are all messed up. When Sarge is right, Beetle is wrong. When Beetle is right, Sarge is wrong. It's all messed up.
Well, hang on. There it looked like they were the same color. The top right.
Yeah, you're on the green slide, Brian. You're on residue.
Oh, okay. Okay, residue slides. Thank you. It's all resident.
Beetle's wearing like a black or something, or a dark gray in the bottom right, though. All right, you're on a different slide.
Which one? On the
Bottom right.
bottom right. I see. So is any of this a Mandela effect or a Mandela variation effect for you? I can only recall, or I only recall Beetle in green and Sarge in tan, and I can see other greens and browns, but never grays, oranges, and yellows. The red has a one-off that I saw. Let me know you guys' thoughts, okay?
So, Brian, how about we jump to the top 4?
Okay.
And start from the one on the right bottom, go left, cross over, go left. So the one on the top left is last.
Okay, so which one is it? Just tell me. Is it okay? The one at the top left is last.
Yes. And the one on the bottom
Okay.
right is first.
Okay, well that's how I actually did it, anyways.
Okay, great. All right, guys.
Okay.
2 more that I did last week, and then 2 brand new ones. In the home stretch, everyone.
Home stretch, guys. Hang in there.
Do you want to read it to make it faster because you see them
Yeah,
before I do?
y'all
Okay.
read it, and that's fine. So this one is Kellogg Sugar Smacks, right?
Yes.
Sugar Smacks was first sold in the 1950s and had many mascots over the decades. The first thing I want to point out is a previous Mandela covered in the community. The next 2 slides are from that presentation. Quick Draw McGraw. Which one is the closest to your memory of these characters? A, B, or C?
I know
Guys,
it
let's
doesn't
try to
seem
get
relevant,
those.
but it is relevant.
Yeah, let's try to. Yeah, I remember Honey Smacks too. Push the buttons. Dig them.
So A, B,
Right.
or C, everyone. And if you don't know, just say, I don't know, so we know we can move on. We
I
gotta
think
just
he
get a
was
couple
A.
answers.
I'm going to say A, Sandy.
Pushin says A and B. Jency says B.
No, I say A probably. That's the one I'm leaning toward. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be B. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Definitely not C though.
Okay, if you didn't get any answers in your chat, we can go on. I remember A too, Brian. You're not alone.
Yeah, Jency says B. Push a button A and B. Okay.
Yep.
Goddess says I don't remember.
That's okay. Thank you for
All
answering.
right. A. The light blue matches my memory, but Jeff remembers C. The dark blue. However, we're both wrong because it has always been B. The red, with the exception of comic books, which had the red parts being depicted as brown. Do you remember red and/or brown? I don't know.
It looks wrong to me. I
I feel
remember the light blue.
Yeah, me too. And I'm pretty solid on that one. I mean, I could see maybe in a few episodes maybe it was red, but for me it was mostly blue.
Mm-hmm.
So, Quick Draw McGraw turned out to be a variation effect. I found his outfit in every color of the rainbow outside the cartoon, but he was always white. I cannot explain why an officially licensed mascot would be made yellow. Can you? At least he's wearing the dark blue that Jeff remembers.
So he's wearing dark blue like Jeff remembers, C, but he's yellow, like Donald Duck turned up yellow. So weird.
Well, they probably did. To be honest with you, Sandy, like if I was coloring with crayons and you're writing on a white piece of paper, it doesn't make sense to color something in with white. You'd want to do like an off color, right?
No, it would still work. Trust me, it would still
I
work
don't
with
know.
black outline.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would know more about that than me. But anyway, but that
Especially with the
isn't the
red
main issue.
stripes. Okay.
Yes, that isn't the main issue with this cereal. So question one: in the late '80s, early '90s, come on, all you guys out there, all cereals in the U.S. began phasing out the word sugar from their cereal names. I wonder what for. What name did Sugar Smacks change to? It was Honey Smacks, wasn't it?
Okay, so that's your answer. Get the answers from the chat.
I say Honey Smacks.
So it went from Sugar Smacks to what, chat? Please answer what you remember, not what you know now, if you saw this. And Brian remembers
Yeah.
Honey Smacks. I remember Honey Smacks as well, Brian. What
I
does
like
chat
that
say?
one. Push a button says that's a horse of a different color for that last one. Good comment. I'm starring that one. Okay.
That is it. Hey, Mustard Seed of Faith.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Sandy's channel because she does a lot more stuff, a lot more shows. If we do new stuff on here as well, but if you wanted to get caught up, you check it out on my channel. But she really does stay up to date with a lot of these effects, so be sure to
Mustard
subscribe
Seed
to
of
her
Faith.
channel as well.
Thank you, Brian. Mustard Seed of Faith. No, we have two brand new ones tonight coming after these two.
Sandy, have you counted your videos yet? How many videos do you guys have?
I have no idea. I honestly don't.
Yeah.
With the new format, episode 28. We're on 28 of the new format, but I still have other stuff on there.
And have you hit 2,000 yet?
No, I'm at like 1.12 something because it says 1.12.
Do you know honestly how to get up there with your subscribers real fast? It's
How's
for
that,
one thing,
Brian?
it's like you were doing with the short form, but you need to include sound effects and visual like cues and
Right now, I don't have access to my
things like that.
video app because I don't have the money to renew it. So that's why there's been no new videos.
Oh,
It's all good.
okay. Man, yeah, everything is subscription these days. It's kind of annoying.
Ryu and Push and say Honey Smacks.
Honey Smacks, that's what I remember. Someone said Honey Spanks.
I know. The joke.
Question 2, yes or no? After the introduction of Diggum Frog in the 70s, do you recall any other mascots for the cereal brand? If yes, who or what do you remember?
So again, answer what you originally answered. After this frog, do you recall any other mascots after this frog? Brian?
No, I can't say about anything about that. But yeah, anyway, let's say Diggum.
Only Diggum.
Yeah, the Diggum Frog. Yeah, that's the only mascot I remember.
All right, guys, we do have
I
to
mean-
speed up because Brian's getting tired. So go ahead, Brian.
All right, in my past, the cereal was immediately changed to Honey Smacks and has been Honey Smacks ever since. Only that is not what happened in this timeline. When they removed sugar from the name of the cereal, the name was changed to just Smacks. What?
Yeah,
The
I've never
cereal
seen
did
it.
not become Honey Smacks until 2004, a full decade later. I have zero memory of Smacks cereal. No. I don't remember just Smacks.
I don't
No.
either. I don't either.
Are you sure
And
about
none of the
that?
chat did either.
That's a huge one. Yeah, definitely. That's a huge one. No, they were Honey Smacks. That's so weird.
So wait, in the top left corner, go back.
Yeah, sorry, what was that?
Can you zoom in on the top left corner? That's a close-up of the image on the right. It's just showing you that this is a U.S. box. This is definitely the USA. That's all.
Okay.
So it's from Battle Creek, Michigan, 1991.
He looks kind of creepy there. Anyway, as for the mascot, I only remember the frog. It was always just the frog. Now he's got yellow eyes. That's weird too. But again, in this reality, that is not the case, and this is where it gets really weird. The math ain't mathing. Should be the math ain't adding up.
No, it's not mathing.
Oh, okay.
Well, because they said that it didn't turn to Honey Smacks until 2004. So how does this exist? Okay, I'd read it, Brian.
Okay, taste the sweetest honey. 1953 to the 1990s, the name was Sugar Smacks. Early 90s until 2004, it was simply Smacks. 2004 to present, it has been Honey Smacks. It's Kellogg's that states it went from Sugar Smacks to just Smacks in the late 80s, and honey was added in 2004. If this were true, then this mascot should not exist. Do you remember Wally Bear? No.
And it also says Honey Smacks on the box.
Honey Smacks has more honey.
What?
Yeah, and I'm not kidding. Yeah, this is and good.
No, it was always the frog.
87 to 89, they swapped out the frog for this bear and called it Honey Smacks, but then apparently went back to Smacks until 2004. None of this makes sense.
No. What year? 87, 89?
Yep.
Wally Bear?
Yep.
That's, man, so weird. I just can't. I can't, Sandy.
I know this one isn't I can't, but it gets worse as we go along, trust me. We're not done yet.
Just, oh, man. There was
So
even
look.
a merchant.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's even merchandise. Go ahead.
Merchandise for this very brief Smacks mascot. Dig 'em. The frog was then brought back in '89, and Wally the bear was retired. Does anyone remember this bear?
I do not.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is it your turn to read? Are you
No,
reading?
it is your turn. No, you're reading because it's
Okay,
faster.
I'm reading. Okay, part 2. Fruit, Fruit, or fruit with a OOT, Fruit Loops mascot. Toucan Sam again. Part 2. Which Toucan Sam do you remember?
So we can skip this because this is a rewind and we're running out of time.
Oh, man.
It's not that relevant. The point is,
Okay.
I remember
It
him
was-
light blue. No one remembered gray. You can
No,
go.
not gray.
They're
Okay.
answering 1 or 2 in the chat.
Years ago, I covered Toucan Sam. Remember being light blue. He's currently number 3, dark blue, and he's been that way. He's been number 2 in the past, actually. So it's all the above in this reality. There are 2 new issues I need to ask you about, but before I do, there's something I need to share with you about this mascot. So Toucan Sam, again, while we're here, I might as well say the colors because in case they change. So the end of the beak is black, followed by purple, green, blue, orange, I guess red or pink, and then the yellow beak. So Toucan Sam got a redesign 2020, 4 years ago, and I never noticed because my presentation was a full year after the redesign. I'm calling time Mandela on this one. How did I not see the new design? Already a year old when I covered Toucan Sam. Oh, but this redesign is actually a redesign of the first redesign because originally they changed him to look like this, and people hated it so much that they put him back the way he was with a more rainbow beak.
So just to be clear, they changed it to what you're seeing now, and they hated it so much that they made him look like the previous slide. So that's what he looks like now. They changed him to that
Hmm.
after the one that everybody hated.
I don't know why they changed him. He was perfectly fine.
I agree.
The new Toucan Sam was just revealed this month, and it's safe to say that people aren't happy. Is this a parody from the Amazing World of Gumball? Is it supposed to be some kind of joke? Nope, it's official. The new Toucan.
All these redesigns happened before my presentation, where only I saw the old Toucan Sam. I find it hard to believe that I missed 2 redesigns, especially with the whole internet freaking out over the first design. Yes, Andy, the Wonder Woman font is easier to read. Okay,
Okay.
in my opinion.
All right.
So regardless, let's get on to question 1. Do you recall Toucan Sam's beak growing like Pinocchio in commercials? No.
Guys, yes or no in the chat. We're only going to give you a few seconds before we move on. Jency says no. Pushing Button says nope.
Nope.
Do you see
Now,
it?
this may not be a Mandela effect. This may have been just one commercial, but I've never seen this before. His beak never grew in my past. This is new for you too. What?
Yeah,
That looks weird.
it's too long. And it shrinks back down when he's sitting at the table.
Wow. No. So
Angels
question
don't
2,
fall.
yeah.
Wait. Angels don't fall. Welcome says no. And Ryu says, I don't know. Sorry. Now you can go on. Sorry about that.
Okay, question 2. Do you recall any version of Toucan Sam where the colors of his beak extend over his mouth, the bottom beak like a real toucan?
The part that's circled, do you recall there ever being colors on the part that's circled? Brian?
No.
All right, let's see what the chat says. Hey, Sagarm. Hi, Jose.
Hey, what's up, Jose?
I remember him saying, follow my beak. It's more than one commercial. Thank you, Super Mario. So his beak grows in more than one commercial. I do remember him saying, follow my nose, follow my beak, but I don't remember it growing and stretching out. Pushin says no.
Okay, we'll move on. This one has me freaking out a little bit. I've never seen the colors over the bottom beak before. Oh my goodness. It looks like a razzle dazzle beak. I like the big WTF circle. But that isn't why I'm freaked out. So I'm freaked out because this beak is all over my old presentation. And neither I nor anyone else mentioned it. The beak, when I presented this, I've never seen this before, yet here it is in my present from 2021.
Yeah, so my old presentation had these images, and I don't remember them looking like this. No one mentioned it, no one pointed it out, because it did not look like this when I presented it. I mean, look at the top left, Brian.
It's awful. Fruit Loops. Never archery.
No,
Never
the
a cherry. Never a
I don't-
cherry, yeah.
I remember
What?
us covering the orange and the lemon in fruit, but I don't remember the cherry on the R.
No. No cherry. Are any of these Mandela effects for you? Smacks, Wally Bear, Toucan Sam redesigns, Razzle Dazzle, Toucan Sam. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not done this one yet. Keep going.
Okay.
Skip the old one and go right to the top 2 new ones, because I know you're falling out.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Is this the last slide or is there more?
No, there's another question.
Okay. Do we need to go on that one? Do we need to finish?
I think so.
Okay.
Let's
I want
go
to
through
ask you about a
quickly.
few things tonight that had to do with cereal. Unfortunately, most of these might just affect the USA audiences,
Okay.
but some brands give different names for the same products in our countries. For example, Kellogg's, Frosted Lakes, USA, and Frosties in where's that at?
Australia.
Australia. Okay, sorry. Yeah, my first question is about a cereal named Mascot. I have previously covered this first question with another cereal, so if it sounds familiar, it is, but the cereal and its history are different. Okay.
Oh wait, why is this here? That's the end.
Oh, that is the end.
It was read out of order. It's out of order. I'll fix it later. Go ahead. So you're going to skip the one that's next to it and just move to the top two, starting with the one on the right. The last two
Okay.
were on the last two one. The last two are brand new, guys. No, you're going to skip that one.
Skip that one.
Yeah, because you're falling asleep. Go to the new ones.
These are the new ones.
Yeah, these are the new ones, yes. Go ahead.
So we're skipping the Fractured Fairy Tale?
Yeah, because that's an old one. I covered it last week.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's okay.
All right, so this is an odd one, but it's absolutely Mandela effect for me. What I'm about to present is a huge deal, yet I have zero memory of it. Yes or no, do you remember a U.S. president in the 90s having a hatred for a food similar to my hatred of celery? Which president and what was the food?
If
I
you
have
do
a-
remember which president and what was the food. So the answer is no or yes, president and food.
I feel like it was President Bush Sr.
For what?
Well, I thought he threw up when he ate Chinese food one time.
Okay, so Jency says no. Anyone else? Yeah, probably not pushing. Shrimp Bush question mark says pushing buttons. Ryu says no. Brian, it's funny. You and Pushin guessed the right president, but you're both wrong on the food.
Okay, well, let's see.
My family is divided. I do not like broccoli, and I haven't liked it since I was a little kid, and my mother made me eat it, and I'm president of the United States, and I'm not going to eat any more broccoli. Now, for the broccoli vote out there, Barbara loves broccoli.
So,
This was
I have no
uploaded
memory.
by, just really quickly, that was an actual speech that was uploaded by George and Barbara Bush. Sorry, go on.
Oh, it's fine. I have no memory at all of President George H.W. Bush refusing to eat broccoli. I have no memory of him going on national television and giving his speech, or this particular speech. But if it was just this speech, I could say, okay, maybe I missed this, but it's not. In January
not?
1990.
I'm sorry, it was not a parody.
Okay. Then January 1990, a pure coincidence because he did not say the quote until March 1990, Campbell's Soup released cream of broccoli soup for the very first time. Wow. Together with Campbell's Soup, Women's Day magazine ran a recipe contest called How to Get President Bush to Eat His Broccoli. That's weird.
No, like this was huge. This was like all over the place. That's what I'm trying to show you. Keep going.
California growers. The donation and delivery to the White House were prompted by a statement recently made by President Bush that he disliked the vegetable.
Check out the CNC span, everyone.
Hang on. Do I have to play the whole thing? Or
No,
just
you
kind of
don't.
skip some parts?
You can just read it.
10,000 pounds.
Okay. So the
10,000.
United.
I just want to say it's 10,000 pounds. I wanted to hear what it was. That's all. You got it. Good.
Okay, and the United Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Association brought a ton of broccoli to Bush's front door to help feed the poor. Does anyone remember any of this? No, I don't remember it.
Keep going, Brian.
Okay. All right, there's also bumper stickers, T-shirts, and cards. Also makes me believe I should have heard of this, but haven't.
There's even a book, Why George Should Eat Broccoli.
Oh,
Read my lips. I do not like broccoli. George H.W. Bush. There's so much stuff about this, and I've never heard of it.
And in 2016, President H.W. Bush posted to Twitter a letter he received from a little boy urging him to eat his broccoli. He said no, LOL.
Can you zoom in on the tweet in the bottom left? And read it?
Okay, so what, the letter to Bush?
No, the tweet.
Oh, the tweet. Proud of young Cooper's interest in healthy eating. He declared his love of broccoli is genuine. It's also, if also unpersuasive.
So he said, I'm glad you like it, but it changed nothing. So here's more stuff just showing you it's everywhere. It was on the news. It's bizarre. I've never heard of it. Never seen this before.
No, me neither.
Eat It George was the bumper sticker. I thought it was funny. And there's
Maybe
a true
this,
meme.
yeah, maybe this isn't the Mandela for you, but I truly have no memory of this back in 1990 or when it made the rounds again in 2016. Do you remember this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
He also banned broccoli from Air Force One. That's why I included this meme. It says bans broccoli from Air Force One. That is true. All right, guys, we're on to the last one, and this one is insane for me. The last one is the one I was referring to. That if you're not affected by it, that's okay. But for those that are affected by this, it's going to upset you. I'm just warning you.
You want to read this one?
Yeah, I'll read it. That's CERN.
Thanks.
I can honestly
Sandy.
say, no problem. I can honestly say, I believe whatever they are really doing down there, it absolutely amplifies the Mandela effect. This week has been filled with crazy endings, and this one is no exception. Question 1. Yes or no in the chat. And guys, please try to answer as fast as you can. You can just put a Y and an N. In your past, have you ever heard of or were told that Campbell's sold fruit soups? Yes or no in the chat?
Okay. If you consider a tomato a fruit,
No, not tomato.
then yes.
Fruit.
Then yes.
No.
That's my answer.
No
Yes.
tomato.
Oh, no.
Not tomato. Fruit.
Okay. If not tomato, then no.
Okay. So Jency says no. Push a Button says no. Super Mario says nope. But Jency also never knew the company. Fruit soup, yuck. I'm going to get to all of that, Jency. Don't worry. All right, we can go on. Because there's a delay, Brian. You see that, Brian?
Yeah. No.
I was not alive in 1959, but my parents were, and so were my grandparents. Not once did I hear them ever mention Campbell's making fruit soups. Not even from my uncle, who worked at the Campbell Soup Factory. So while I can't say this is definitely a Mandela effect, I suspect it may be.
Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of heavy hitters tonight, Sandy. That's bringing them home. Thanks.
No problem. It was made to be eaten hot, ew, or cold, and came in orange, black cherry, and prune, double ew, flavors. But it was also suggested to be eaten cold or poured cold over hot or cold cereal. Maybe on oatmeal, but other than that, no, just no. And just to be clear, it was black cherry with burgundy, prune, orange, and apricot, orange with apricots and white grapes. Those were the 3 soups.
I thought Burgundy is like a wine or something, isn't it?
It
Like
is.
alcohol.
Well, black cherry with burgundy would be like baked Alaska cherries. Cherries Jubilee. Not baked Alaska. Cherries Jubilee. Pushing Button says I just threw up. Everyone's having the same reaction I did, but this is the part that's upsetting me. Question 2. The famous jingle. Please fill in the blank. That's blank. Campbell's soups are good. What is the blank? That's blank. Campbell's soups are good. It begins with a W. The word I'm looking for is a word that begins with W.
Why?
Okay, so
W-H-Y.
Ryan says that's why Campbell's soups are good. Guys, what do you remember? Brian, can you look at the chat since you can see both chats, please? I see no answers yet. Well, I see pushing buttons with Y.
Pushing button says why. Goddess says why. Goddess 41 says why, okay? Pushing button says question mark, question mark.
Brian, you know, it's times like these where I breathe, like I'm holding my breath, waiting to see what the chat says. And now I can breathe a sigh of relief that you guys are from my reality. That's not what they say anymore. Go ahead, Brian. You can go on.
Who said, who's they? What do you mean?
Go ahead, Brian. Go to the next
The
slide.
one in the middle looks like Rosie O'Donnell. That's what Super Mario Brothers said.
It does.
Yes.
Oh
man, that was funny.
All right. Go
I
on.
starred that comment. I starred the one from Super Mario Brothers.
That was great.
Wendy B says why.
Hey, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy B.
All right, go on, Brian. Everyone, brace yourselves. That's all I gotta say. If you have the current memory, that's okay. But for those of you that share my memory, this one may hit hard. The missing word that I remember was why. It's not.
Why?
It's not. It's what. It's what now, everyone. That's what Campbell's soups are. Good. Never. I saw it written on billboards, in the ballpark, in commercials, and I heard the song a million times. It was why, not what. It's going to play on the next slide, Brian. Brian, you there?
Yep, I'm here. Sorry. I was
There's
writing
also a
something down.
man-excuse. There's also a man-excuse. I can just hear the man-excuse now. You just remembered the new verse that I never heard of before from 2001. No. So apparently a second grader created a new verse that goes, quick to heat, great to eat. That's why Campbell's soups are such a treat. I've never heard this verse, never heard of it. So, no, this is not a man-excuse, but I can see people claiming it to be a man-excuse.
They're trying to downplay it. That's what it is.
That's what Campbell's soups are.
It's hard to hear because of the piano, but I guarantee you they're saying what.
That's what Campbell's soups.
I heard why.
No, you're
The
not.
first
It's the
time. Now,
piano. It's the piano.
no,
You have to listen well. Trust me.
I know.
It's
Now I
what?
hear what.
Play it again.
That's what Campbell soup.
Yes, that's what. Unfortunately, yeah. I thought I
It's
heard
what?
why the first time.
Yeah, it's the piano. It kind of hides it, but it's what? It's not a hear what you want. It's definitely what? It's 100% what? And it's horrible. It's just horrible. But at least they wrote why in the description.
Are we just about finished, Sandy?
No, we have to keep going, Brian. There's more. I gotta
Okay.
show the residue.
Okay. So we read that, right?
Yeah, yeah, I just spoke it. So, there is a ton of residue, including 2 references in 2 different Google books. That's why Campbell's soups aren't good. So, The Missing Link by Sando Musu Brown and Blue by Elaine Ball. I can't see it, it's cut off. It's okay. More people remembering that's why. This has Band-Aid brand, which is in red. It was just Band-Aid. That's why Campbell soups are good. Twice. Name some slogans we'll never forget. That's why Campbell soups are good. I'll go back a second. So this woman sang the jingle in the commercials. And she has why in the article.
Wow.
It's not on my screen yet if you want to read it. Oh, wait. So what are your thoughts? Have you heard of Campbell's Fruit Soups? And do you have the current memory for the 1931 song? Or do you remember why like I do? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Sandy, I think I think Campbell's took the idea from Fruit Loops, and now we have Fruit Soups with the correct spelling.
Yeah. It's got the cherry too, just like the cherry that was added to the
I know. They're all in cahoots. That's what it is. They're in cahoots, Sandy.
yeah.
And what do we do? What do we do in the mafias? Yeah.
Brian,
What do
do
we
you
do?
want to do a shout out before we head out tonight?
You know, our Godfather, in case you guys don't know, we do every year, Father's Day, we do a Godfather
Skit.
presentation
Mhm.
skit. We'll be talking about Campbell's this time, won't we? At Campbell's and Fruit Loops. They're in cahoots
Yes. Oh,
with
and
Fruit Loops.
I do have an announcement to make. So, with the eviction, I have someone who wants to remain anonymous, an anonymous donor, who is willing to match every donation up to $1,000 so that we can get out of this hole and move on and get this thing over with. So, if you can, guys, I'll add it to the description. It's in the description of all my previous videos. If you can, please share the GoFundMe. I also have PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Ko-Fi. So if they don't like using GoFundMe, they have other options. But if you can, please share it because someone's willing to match every donation up to $1,000, which is amazing. So I just wanted to share that really quickly because I found out about that today. And Brian, do you want to do a shout out before we get out of here? Because I can't see your chat.
Okay, well, Goddess Four said here, the idea of fruit soups makes me want to gag, and it's always been why, shaking my head.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, you got a question here from Pushing Buttons on PayPal. They will match also, or two?
Yes, I just have to show them.
Okay. Gen C says fruit soup makes me vomit. Yeah, if you guys are ever in for a good laugh, I don't know if I mentioned it on the channel before, but you can always check out. Speaking of fruit soups making you gag, you should check out all the gummy bear reviews on Amazon. Check out those sugar-free gummy bears reviews.
Oh yeah, I heard. I heard that if you ever have problems not being able to go, they're the best way to go.
I especially love the one how the guy was on the airplane and
Oh,
he
I
made
didn't
the
read that
mistake.
one.
He made the mistake of buying them at the airport, and then his stomach was tore up on the airplane.
Oh, poor guy. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh yeah, I
no.
know.
Oh,
All right.
Pushing,
Well,
thank you.
thank you, Pushing. Yes.
Hey, Jennifer M, just in time. Just in time for the goodbye shout out from Brian.
All right, you guys. Well, thanks again for coming. Hope to see you in a couple weeks. We'll be back on again on my channel. Please be sure to check out Sandy's channel tomorrow. Make sure you hit that bell. Hit the bell and subscribe so that way you know when to get the latest feeds. Okay.
All right, Brian, do you want me to do the shout out really quick then?
Sure. What shout out are you talking about?
I'm saying do a chat shout out.
Sure, do one. Go ahead.
Okay. So we have today, Gino, Arthur, Jency, Pushing Button 62, Ryugami Mikado. We have Preliminal. Super Mario Brothers 3 was first. I'm just saying that because it's true. Let's see. I'm scrolling. I gotta find the people, Brian. Can you tell me who's on in your chat room, Brian?
Possibly Jennifer M. Might be. Unless let's see. True.
Goddess.
Aspartame is 1,000x worse. Goddess Four Winds is on mine as well.
And Mustard Seed of Faith. We also have Angels Don't Fall. Bit of Venom was here. I'm scrolling. There's a lot of Gen Z I have to get through. Tag Arm Mandela Effect. Jose Martinez is here. Good to see you in the chat.
So I think I'm going to do something new though. Toward the end of these shows, I'm going to start. I'm going to read some of the starred comments from the show, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So Gen C, the first one here. If you're affected, you're affected. If you're not, then you're not. I starred that one.
Another person in the chat was when we're going to go back and forth as I find new people. Wendy B was here. Go ahead, Brian.
Sure. Super Mario Brothers 3. This is the After Dark edition of Mandela Effects with a bunch of different emojis. Pushing Button 62. That's a horse of a different color.
Preliminal is here.
My favorite one of tonight was Super Mario Brothers 3. The one in the middle is Rosie O'Donnell. That cracked me up.
That did crack up. That was spot on. I agree with Pushing Buttons. Let's see. So I said we have preliminary. Jennifer M was here, and I know a couple of people were here earlier, and I can't see it anymore. It's too far up in the chat for me to see. So if I missed you, I'm so sorry, everyone. Well, guys, that's it for this
That's
episode.
A wrap.
That's a wrap. I will see you tomorrow night, and also most likely Sunday night on Hebrew 77. All links are in my description.
Sandy, you have to make sure you say your catchphrase on every show. I can't. So make sure you say that tomorrow.
Hold on, I have a question in chat I need to answer.
Oh, okay, real quick.
Really quickly. Super Mario Brothers 3 is asking, whatever happened to John Nada? I think possibly John Otta's schedule changed because John Otta is still commenting and sending emails, but we're not seeing him live. So it may have been a schedule change where he's not able to make the chat. But he's still around. He's still in the comments. Well, it's good to see, and it's good to see Jency back because Jency was gone for a long time. So is Jennifer M. It's good to see you guys return. Yeah, and Brian, here, I'll read Jennifer M's comment. Oh, yeah, LOL. I can't. All right, guys.
Very good.
I'll see
All
you
right, guys,
tomorrow
have a
night.
great, yes, have a great Mandela Effect night. God bless everyone.
Good night, everyone.